What's up, y'all? We back at it with another chapter of Dandadan Chapter 195, man. Hey, this was a funny chapter. This is one of those chapters where, like, if manga did things where they was straight to DVD, like some of the low budget movies are, this would be one of those manga chapters where, yeah, oh, you don't gotta wait for it to get released on blue in the theaters. You just gotta go pick it up on DVD, like, yo, straight to DVD. That's the vibe I got from this chapter, because really, this was a chapter of Sharknado, man. Sharknado. I don't know how many of y'all seen the movies. It's about, I think, 6 of them at this point, maybe more. And they were always like this, like, wow, you guys are reaching type of movies. Like, the first one was cool, and then they just kept going with the other ones. And this chapter right here just really made me think of Sharknado, man. I don't know why, or I guess I should call it Shark Typhoon. Look, man, it's crazy. Let me know how y'all felt about this chapter down below. Give me y'all honest rating. For me, I will say this is probably the weirdest chapter I've seen in the series, and we've got some crazy stuff in Dandadan. I would probably give this chapter like a 6 out of 10. Because ain't much happened, but at the same time, it's just so crazy and bizarre, you can't give it anything below 5. You know what I'm saying? But the chapter, we about to start with it, man. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell. I'm currently at work, so I won't have the best edits. I do apologize. You won't be able to see my face, but we got to talk about Sharknado, or Shark Typhoon. But you have it where the plane is, you know what I'm saying, one of the engines blown out on the plane. You got random sharks, like, being thrown around in the sky. You got it where people are looking out the window to see what's going on. Like, these guys were just trying to kill one another. They were just trying to take one another's lives, and they put everything on pause because they look out the window and see I was about to say dragons, but see sharks flying around in the sky. And I imagine, you know, I would have did the same thing. We're like, yo, hey, look, we can get back to fight one another later, but like, if you look out the window, it's flying sharks. But you got it where the sharks are flying around. Everyone's amazed. They're running to the windows to look out of it. You know, the old lady, her kids. You got Dino Girl. You also got Zuma, like, yo, dang, I want to see. But we know his eyesight is gone, which is really messed up, man. It's messed up. But again, you have it where you see one of the sharks impale the actual airplane. Like, it actually pierces the plane, which is crazy. You would think the shark would probably like go splat, but then again, I don't know, sharks are pretty heavy, and this was a big, it looked like a great white. Well, anyway, the shark actually pierces the plane. You got it where you know, grandma's like, yo, everybody grab hold of something, and of course you see the pressure is destabilizing within the plane, and it's trying to suck everybody out of it, and you got people holding on. That's when you have grandma saying like, yo, grab one of the oxygen masks so you can breathe, you know what I'm saying, because right now all the oxygen will be sucked out of your lungs, you know, due to what's going on the plane. And then, you know what I'm saying, you got it where some of the boys that's working with the grandma, I mean with the old lady, they're like, Mom, save us. She's like, yo, you guys got to fend for yourselves right now. And this is one of those situations where everybody for themselves. That's one of those things where I'm like, yo, you ain't no real mom, because a mom would have did what it took to make sure her kids was safe. But anyway, you got all this going on. And then that's when they say like, yo, Dino Girl, make yourself grow a little bit and plug the hole. And so she did it. And I don't know why, but this was like, it was a very dangerous situation, but the way she plugged the hole was just so adorable. I don't know if maybe I'm the only one who felt like, oh, like, I thought that was crazy. But you see that, you know, everybody lands back to the ground. Then you have it where Momo, she happens to look over to her left, and she sees another shark head that pierces the plane, but this head seems to be stuck, and she said it's freezing cold, meaning that these sharks are dead from being out the water too long, and at the same time, because they're so high in the air, you know what I'm saying, they're frozen solid, and it looks like that's what they died from, not necessarily being out of water. And you got it where grandma says like, yo, you know, it's like negative 50 degrees up here. I think she said negative 50. I can't remember the exact number she said, but pretty much it's real cold up there. And you got it where they're constantly being attacked by different sharks hitting the plane, and they're trying to figure out what's going on, what's causing this typhoon. You have it where grandma actually noticed that Momo is there, and she says like, you know, the medicine must be wearing off that she took, and it was the medicine that dulled her senses, that had her forgetting about her grandchild. But even now that the medicine has worn off, she's still a little hazy about Momo, meaning that like, yo, if they wait too much longer, she's going to completely forget about her grandchild. And then, of course, she's like, yo, they got to make it to the location in time you know what I'm saying, in order to save Momo. Otherwise, you'll have to wait a whole nother year. And by that time frame, it's more than likely that grandma, as well as everybody else, would have forgotten about Momo by then. Now, I'm curious how it's affecting other characters, because I know your boy Gigi has a stronger resistance due to how much energy and power he has. So I'm wondering how long it would take for him to completely forget about Momo. But anyway, while that's going on, you got everybody buckling themselves down in the seatbelt, because in case something else go wrong. And you got it where it seems as if the plane is going to try to land at a nearby airport, which got everyone excited. But at the same time, you have it where grandma says, like, nah, we got to get to the location for Momo, because time is a big factor. If they don't make it in time, like I just said a moment ago, it will take up to a year before this event will happen again to restore her to her normal size. And then while you got this going on, you got it where they're like, yo, we got to figure out what's causing this typhoon. And of course, Momo looks out the window and she notices that there's, parts of her face, you got the mouth, the ear, the nose floating. And that's when they did, pretty much come up with the conclusion that this is someone's body, like this is someone who's able to become a typhoon causing this. Now, I'm very curious if this is someone working with Saint Germain or just a random person and they just happen to fly in this area. I'm very curious about that. But you got it where they're trying to figure out a way to take down this person and even figure out who this person is so that they can get Momo to the location that they need to get her to. And you have it where the grandma goes to say, like, yo, this is no different than any other, obstacle. We just got to find out what the power source is, which is the warm ocean water. Would they consider that to be the engine? And then you got it where they considering the water vapor to be the gasoline to help this engine run. So once they figure out what's causing that or figure out how to stop that, they'll be able to stop this typhoon and be on track to where they're trying to go. And I just think that all in all, it was a good chapter. It wasn't the best. I don't think it was, I don't know, this might be like, I wouldn't say the weakest, but the weirdest chapter we've gotten with the whole Sharknado thing. Maybe because I really wasn't a fan of the Sharknado movie. And at the same time, just being in an airplane with something like that, like, yo, that just seems so bizarre and so wild and so far-fetched. And like I said, we've got some wild stuff in the series, but I don't think we've ever had anything this crazy go down in Dandadan. I don't know. Maybe there is. If y'all could think of a weirder chapter, let me know down below. I'll go check out the chapter, reread it, and then I'll come back to the comments and be like, yeah, bruh, you were right. This one was definitely weirder. But let me know how y'all feel about that down below. Like I said, I'm at work, so hopefully you guys rock with this video and how it was edited. If not, I understand. You could thumb it down, but I prefer you thumb it up, man. Next video I'll probably be dropping will be tomorrow, and that will be Chainsaw Man. I don't know, or it's between Chainsaw Man or Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi. I don't know which one I'm gonna drop first. I guess it just depends on how my schedule goes. But like the video, thumb it up, subscribe, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.